football game between two great teams. And incidentally, sports fans, right out there on the field tonight, today, we've seen a fine Michigan State band competing against a great Notre Dame band. And this is really going to be a contest because these band boys prepare for the contest just as much as the football players. And now the Notre Dame band is getting ready for the national anthem. Jerry West, 218-pounder. And left guard, Norm Jenkins, 214 pounds, 6 feet tall. This is a big football team, Jimmy. At center is Boris Dimitrov, 224-pounder. At right guard, John Karpinski, 213 pounds. At right tackle, Joe Krzyzewski, 224 pounds. And at right end, George Washington, Dean Washington, rather, from LaPorte, Texas. And here is White Lee, 192-pounder, and quarterback Steve Juday, one of the finest quarterbacks in the Big Ten Conference, and right halfback Clinton Jones, and at fullback Duffy hasn't decided yet whether it'll be Bob Batista or Eddie Cotton. We'll see in a few moments. For the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, we have Tom Talaga starting at left end, recovering from an injury. At left tackle, Bob Meeker. At left guard, Tom Regner, who's been playing both ways for Notre Dame. At center, a sophomore, Steve Quinn, 207-pounder from Northfield, Illinois, a sophomore. And at right guard for the first time this season, Dick Swatlin will start in place of Dick Arrington in case Notre Dame is on offense. He is 218 pounds. And at right tackle is Tom Sullivan, senior from Berkeley, California, 230 pounds. And at right end, the captain of Notre Dame, Bill Sheridan. At quarterback, it'll be Bill Zlock if Notre Dame is on offense from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. At left halfback, we're happy to say for the Notre Dame fans, Phil Wolski is back from Muskegon, Michigan. He will start at left halfback. At right halfback will be Nick Eddy from Lafayette, California. And at fullback, it will be Larry Conjar, a junior from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, who's doing a fine job for Notre Dame. The toss out in the field as the officials went out there with Sheridan, Japinka, and Juday, co-captains of the Spartan teams. Now we find Duffy Daugherty talking to the Michigan State team before the game. You can feel the electricity here at Notre Dame Stadium. Excitement is very high. This should be a great football game. Ara Parsegian and his staff are surrounded by the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. As now they enter out there on the field, Jimmy. And here's our play-by-play announcer, Jimmy Morse. Let's go get him, Jimmy.
Okay, Moose Krause. Notre Dame has won the toss, elected to kick off. They'll defend the goal on our left, which is the north goal. Michigan State will receive, defend the goal to our right, which is the south goal. A great day for football here at Notre Dame Stadium. Temperature in the about 52 degrees as Michigan State in white uniforms, green numbers, and green helmets comes out on the field. Notre Dame in their gold pants, dark blue jerseys, and gold helmets. Going back deep now for the Spartans of Michigan State to receive the kickoff. Number 39 in the center is Drake Garrett. On the near side, number 26 is Clinton Jones, their fine halfback. And on the far side, number 24, Charles Lothar. The kickoff for Notre Dame Jim Ryan, and there's the whistle, and there's the kick. Long, high, end over end, down the center. Taken right at the goal line. Back to the 5 and back to the 10-yard line before he's hit his number 36. Number 39, check that, Drake Garrett. Brought down by the kicker, number 11, Jim Ryan, along with Tom O'Leary for Notre Dame. So the Irish defense has the Spartans right back where they want them at the opening of this football game at the 11-yard line. In that backfield for Michigan State, Dwight Lee, Steve Jude, Clinton Jones, and the fullback is Eddie Cotton. 1st and 10, Michigan State from their own 11-yard line. Unbalanced line to the left. There's the snap. Jude hands off to Jones. He's hit at the line of scrimmage and brought down. Number 56 in there is Dave Martin. Arunas Vassis, the right end, also in there along with John Horney and Jim Lynch to make the stop. Defensively for Notre Dame, it's Harry Long, Pete Duranko, Dick Arrington, and Arunas Vassis. The linebackers are Jim Lynch, John Horney, Mike McGill, and Dave Martin. Tom Longo, Nick Rasses, and Tony Carey in the secondary. No gain on the play. 2nd down, 10 yards to go. Michigan State from their own 11-yard line. Jude gets the ball, hands off on the draw play to Jones. He's got running room to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And all the way up to the 40-yard line goes Clinton Jones, and there's a flag on the play at the 42. Clinton Jones all the way from his 11-yard line to the 39-yard line, and the preliminary indication is a clipping penalty to be called against Michigan State. A 29-yard run that time for Jones, the fine right halfback of Michigan State, who already this year has picked up 670 yards on 145 carries. He was finally brought down by Tony Carey, the right defensive halfback for Notre Dame. Brings the ball back to the 24-yard line, 15 yards against State for clipping. The officials for today's game, Howard Wirtz is the referee, Bob Hepler is the umpire, the head linesman is William Makepeace, the field judge, Ed Bronson, and the back judge, Charles Cole. All right, 1st and 10, Michigan State, 1st and 25, I should say, from their own 24-yard line. There's the snap, the handoff. Goes to the left halfback, Dwight Lee, over left tackle, and he stopped almost immediately. Martin in there. Arrington, Jim Lynch, all combined to make the stop on Dwight Lee, the left halfback for the Spartans. A gain of about 2 yards on the play, so we'll call it 2nd down and 23 yards to go. Michigan State from their own 26-yard line. Unbalanced line to the right. There's the snap. On the option play is Jude. He pitches back now. There's a fumble on the play. And let's see who got that football. It's Notre Dame's ball.
Say, Jimmy, on that play, quarterback Jude held the ball and tried to get our defensive end to make the tackle. Yes, he did. The ball that fell out of the hands of the right halfback of the Michigan State team, and Notre Dame recovered. This is a big break for the Fighting Irish. The ball is on the 19-yard line, and here comes Notre Dame out of the huddle.
All right, Notre Dame's ball. 1st down, 10 yards to go from the State 19. Pitch back, goes to Walski around the right side. He's brought down for about 1.5 yard loss. Fine defensive play in there by number 85, Bob Viney, the right defensive end for Michigan State. Defensively for the Spartans, it's Bubba Smith at left end, Buddy Owens the left tackle, Harold Lucas the middle guard, Don Weatherspoon is the right tackle, and Bob Viney is the right end. The linebackers are Ron Gubert, Charles Thornhill, and the roverback is George Webster. And we'll set the secondary in a moment. Notre Dame 2nd down and 11 yards to go. 1st down from the State 21. The snap goes to the quarterback's block. He's over right tackle and down to about the 15-yard line. George Webster, the roverback of Michigan State, making the stop, along with Ron Gubert, the left linebacker. The secondary for Michigan State, Jim Summers, Jesse Phillips, and Don Jappinga, the co-captain for the Spartans.
Say, Jimmy, the defensive line of the Michigan State Spartans averages 244 pounds from end to end. This is a big line.
And they're a good line, too, Moose, as you know. 2nd down, 6 yards to go from the Spartan 15-yard line. There's the snap. He's locked with the ball, keeps over right tackle. He's brought down. at about the 14-yard line. Don Weatherspoon made the stop for Michigan State. Timeout is called with the score Michigan State nothing, Notre Dame nothing. And now this message from Kaiser Jeep Corporation. With 4th down, 5 yards to go, Notre Dame from the Spartan 14-yard line. Kenny Ivan is in the ball game to attempt a field goal for Notre Dame. Bill Schlock will hold. There's the snap. It's placed. The ball is up in the air. And it's good. Kenny Ivan boots a 22-yard field goal for Notre Dame. And the Irish have the lead by the score of 3-0 with 11 minutes and 37 seconds remaining here in the first period of play. Well, if you joined us late, that score was set up when Notre Dame kicked off the ball. Michigan State had possession deep in their own territory. With a 2nd down and 23, they tried a pitch out around the right end. There was a fumble, and the fumble was recovered by left linebacker for Notre Dame, Jim Lynch. Notre Dame could not move the ball in for the touchdown. However, Kenny Ivan boots the field goal, and the Irish lead by the score of 3-0.
And you know, Jimmy, Kenny Ivan now broke another record for Notre Dame. He had already broken the record with 11 field goals before this contest. Now he has 12. Every time he kicks a field goal now, he will be setting a new record. Here's the kickoff.
All right, there's the boot by Jim Ryan. Long, high end over end. Taken by Drake Garrett at the 3-yard line. Back to the 10, 15. And that's all at the 16-yard line for Drake Garrett. Pete Duranko was down there quick for Notre Dame to make the stop. Going into this football game, Drake Garrett had returned 6 kickoffs for 102 yards. He's the leading kickoff return man for the Spartans. It's Michigan State's ball. 1st down, 10 yards to go from their own 17-yard line as Washington splits to the right. Clinton Jones is in the slot. There's the snap. The handoff goes to number 34, their left halfback, Dwight Lee, over right tackle, and he's down over the 25-yard line to about the 27. Tom Longo made the stop for Notre Dame. A pickup of almost 10 yards on the play for Dwight Lee on their power play. Howard Wirtz, the referee, calls for the chain gang. 1st down, Spartans of Michigan State at their own 27-yard line. For the Spartans, it's Probostol, West, Jenkins, Dimitrov, Karpinski, Presbicki, and Washington, the front 7. 1st down, 10 yards to go. Michigan State from their own 27-yard line. Unbalanced line to the right. There's the snap. Jude keeps the ball. He's dumped immediately on a fine defensive play by Harry Long, the left end. All the backfield action that time went to the left. Jude kept the ball and went to the right. Harry Long was there waiting for him for Notre Dame. In the backfield for Michigan State, it's Dwight Lee, the left halfback, Clinton Jones, the right halfback, Eddie Cotton is the fullback, and Steve Jude, a fine one, is the quarterback. A pickup of a yard on that last play. It's 2nd down, 9 yards to go. State from their own 28-yard line. Washington splits wide to the right. Here's the pitch back to number 44, the fullback, and he's out to about the 37-yard line. Eddie Cotton, the fullback, a pitch out around left end. He was brought down by Mike McGill, along with Nick Rassus for Notre Dame. Plenty of running room that time for Eddie Cotton. And a reminder that today's football game is being brought to you by the B.F. Goodrich Company and the Kaiser Jeep Corporation. A 10-yard pickup on that last play for Michigan State. Eddie Cotton, it's 1st down, 10 yards to go. Spartans from their own 37. There's the pitch. The pitch back goes to Dwight Lee around right end. He's brought down at the 40-yard line. Harry Long over there, along with Mike McGill for Notre Dame.
You know, Jimmy, you can see why Michigan State won the Big Ten championship. They've got a very offense there, a multiple type of offense. They use an unbalanced line, and they handle the ball real well. This Jude is really great at quarterback.
A pickup of 3 yards on the play. It's 2nd down, 7 yards to go. State from their own 40-yard line. as the left halfback, Clinton Jones, gets the ball over left tackle and dives to about the 43-yard line. Dick Arrington and Pete Duranko combine to make the tackle for Notre Dame. The ball is right at the 43-yard line, so we will call it third down, and 4 yards to go, first down, Michigan State. Out of the huddle they come. Unbalanced line to the right with 3rd and 4 from their own 43. There's the snap. Jude rolls to the right, looking, fires downfield. It's incomplete at the 40-yard line. A fine defensive play by Nick Rassis and Tom Longo. That pass was intended for Gene Washington. The big end for Michigan State, who already this year has caught 38 passes for 610 yards.
He's also the great hurdler in the nation, the hurdler champion of the NCAA. He had that pass right on the tips of his fingers until Rassis made the tackle. That was a good play by Jude to Washington.
Dick Kenny in the ball game now to punt for Michigan State, standing at his own 30-yard line. 4th and 4. Nick Rassis back deep for Notre Dame. There's a snap. Good snap from center. There's a kick. High, long spiral. Rassis, fair catch at the 20-yard line. He's got it. And Gene Washington, the big right end of Michigan State, was right on top of Rassis. He had no chance to run with that football. A 37-yard punt that time by Dick Kenny. He's the barefooted kicker, as you know, from Michigan State, and a fine field goal kicker he is. He punts, however, with his shoe on. Notre Dame's ball, first down, 10 yards to go from their own 20-yard line. As both Eddie and Sheridan are split wide to the right. The pitchback goes to Eddie around the right side. He's hit right at the 20-yard line. Ron Gubert, along with Bubba Smith, in there to make the stop for the Spartans. Tom Regner coming out of the ball game now for Notre Dame. He appears to be limping. Dick Swatland goes in to replace Regner. Arrington is in the ball game at right guard offensively for the Irish. Have a penalty coming up now against the Spartans. It's a 5-yard penalty for offsides against Michigan State. So that moves the ball to the 25-yard line of Notre Dame. It's first down, 5 yards to go, Irish. From their own 25, 1st and 5, Notre Dame. I formation, Eddie's the deep man. There's the snap. Eddie gets the ball over left tackle. And there's that big defense of the Spartans to meet him right away at the 23. George Webster, Bob Viney, first 2 men to hit Nick Eddy. A loss of 2 yards on the play. It's second down, 7 yards to go for Notre Dame from their own 23-yard line. Eddy and Sheridan split wide to the right. Eddy is right behind Sheridan, way out on the right flank. 2nd and 7, there's a snap. Zlock rolls to his right. He's running with the ball, and he's hit on a fine defensive play by number 71, Charles Thornhill, for Michigan State.
You know, Jimmy, the Michigan State team, to give our sports fans a view of their defense, used a 6-man line when Notre Dame is on first or second down, and then on that situation, they shifted to a 5. So in their 6-man line defense, they've done a tremendous job in stopping the Notre Dame running attack.
It's third down, 8 yards to go, Notre Dame from their own 22, and Dan McGinn is in, and now he's going back. The ball... If I sounded confused that time, I was. Dan McGinn was in the ball game that time, replacing Bill Walski in the I formation. He went back as if to quick kick. However, the handoff went to Larry Conjar, and he moved the ball over right tackle to his own 28-yard line. That was not enough, however, for the first down. It's fourth down, 2 yards to go, Notre Dame from their own 28. And every time Dan McGinn comes in a ball game in that position, we're not sure what he's going to do. All right, he's in the ball game now, this time to punt, however, standing at his own 15-yard line. There's the boot. High, long spiral. Taken at the 28-yard line by Jappinga. He's back to the 30, back to the 32-yard line before he's knocked out of bounds by Gerald Kelly, who comes into center on punts for Notre Dame. A 44-yard kick that time by Dan McGinn. Well, you can see why the Michigan State Spartans are ranked number 1 in the country not only in the ratings, but also in rushing defense. They held Notre Dame to a 3-yard loss that time. All right, Spartans out of the huddle now. First down, 10 yards to go from their own 33-yard line. There's the snap. Whiteley with the ball, and he's swarmed on as he tries to go over right tackle. Harney, McGill, and Martin all over there to make the stop for Notre Dame. Interesting to note that the Spartans, as I mentioned a moment ago, are number 1 in the country in rushing defense. Notre Dame is number 2 in the country in rushing defense. A 1-yard pickup on the play, we'll call it. Second down and 9 yards to go from the Spartan 35-yard line. There's the snap. On a reverse, Clinton Jones has the ball, and he's stopped right at the line of scrimmage. John Horney, Dick Harrington in there to make the stop for the Irish. Actually, he lost about a half a yard, Moose.
Jimmy, let's talk about Notre Dame's defense now. They're jumping from a 4 to a 6-man line, which is the usual defense Notre Dame has been using all season long, and doing a fine job so far.
We'll call it still 3rd and 9 as Washington splits wide to the right and Dwight Lee splits wide to the left. There's the snap. On the draw play, Clinton Jones has the ball, gets away from 1 tackler, 2 tacklers. However, he is brought down at the 37 or 8-yard line. Believe me, he's hard to get a good hold of. He bounced off about 3 tacklers before Arrington got him, along with Lynch, McGill, and Martin. It's 4th down and 6 yards to go. Michigan State from their own 38-yard line. That'll undoubtedly bring in their punter, Dick Kenny, who is standing now at his own 24-yard line. Nick Rassus back deep for Notre Dame, standing at his own 25. There's the snap. Good center. Kind of a wobbly kick this time. Coming down short at the 35, taking a Michigan State bounce and going inside the Notre Dame 30. And rolling dead now at about the 27-yard line of Notre Dame. Regnar is back in the ball game now at left guard for Notre Dame. He limped out a few moments ago on the last series. We weren't sure that he'd be back in the ball game. A 35-yard kick that time by Dick Kenny. The Irish ball, first down, 10 yards to go from their own 27-yard line. High formation, Walski, the deep man in the eye. There's the snap. The handoff goes to Conjar over center, 30, 35, and up to the 40-yard line goes Larry Conjar. Right over the center. He's finally brought down by Don Jappinga for the Spartans. A good quick trap right up the center. Tom Regner, Dick Harrington, and Steve Quinn opening the hole for Larry Conjar. A pickup of 13 yards on the play. Moves the ball just shy of the 40-yard line of Notre Dame. It's first down, 10 yards to go, Irish. High formation, Walski the deep man. Back to pass goes Locke, shoots it out here, complete to Eddie at the 45. And out to the 50-yard line, and into Michigan State territory goes Nick Eddy. George Webster and Ron Gubert made the tackle for Michigan State.
That was a smart play by Bill Zlack on that one, Jimmy. He had Notre Dame's line in very, very tight. And Nick Eddy snuck out in the front. He was wide open on that play and incidentally made a good run of it for about 4 yards after he caught the ball because he was immediately tackled. A great play by Bill Zlack.
It's first down, 10 yards to go, Notre Dame from the 49-yard line of Michigan State. High formation, Eddie the deep man. There's the snap. Eddie with the ball right over center. And boy, do they plug that center up. Harold Lucas, Buddy Owens, Don Weatherspoon, along with George Webster.
Jimmy, that Lucas is 286 pounds. Our halfback ran smack into him, and it was just like hitting a stone wall. He's a big boy, one of the biggest I've seen in college football, and also a very fast, active football player, one of the best in college circles.
A loss of a yard on the play. It's second down and 11. The ball right at the 50-yard line. A split to the left is Talaga along with Walski. There's the snap. The pitch back goes to Eddie, going wide around left end. He cuts in over the 50 to about the 49-yard line. A pickup of maybe a yard on the play before Bob Viney and Charles Thornhill combine to bring Eddie down. That front five of Michigan State goes 268, 221, 286, 228, and 214. Pretty formidable outfit, I would say, Moose.
I could play quarterback on that team weighing 240 pounds.
It's third down, 10 yards to go. Notre Dame from the 49-yard line of Michigan State. Talaga to the right along with Nick Eddy. Split to the left is Sheridan for Notre Dame. There's the snap. Schlock rolls to the left, gets away from the tackler. He's looking, and he almost fumbles the ball as he's hit by number 53 for Michigan State, Buddy Owens, the left defensive tackle. In with a good rush that time.
Yes, and also a smart play by Bill Schlock, incidentally. He was aiming for Phil Sheridan, who was well covered by two men, and he held the ball and was tackled for that loss there of about 6 yards.
Notre Dame has the lead in this ball game by the score of 3-0 with 1:13 remaining in the first quarter. Jappinga back deep for Michigan State. Now Drake goes back. Drake Garrett. There's the kick by Dan McGinn, high spiral. And right at the 15-yard line, Drake Garrett calls for the fair catch for Michigan State as the Irish pursuers were right down on top of him. A 38-yard kick by Dan McGinn of Notre Dame. 55 seconds showing on the scoreboard clock. Notre Dame has the lead, 3-0. Michigan State's ball, first down, 10 yards to go from their own 15-yard line as Washington splits wide to the right. Unbalanced line to the right. Jude, the quarterback, there's the snap. The handoff goes to Dwight Lee over left tackle. He's brought down at the 17-yard line, we'll call that. It was 1st and 10 from the 15. Martin in there along with McGill and Duranko. Dwight Lee, only a sophomore for the Spartans. 6'2", 192 pounds. Picked up 327 yards this year. It's third down, 7 yards to go. Spartans from their own 18-yard line. Washington far to the right once again. Jones in the slot. Jude goes back. He's rushed. He throws now. Gets away. It's intercepted by Notre Dame at the 24-yard line. Tommy Longo with the ball. And Gene Washington, the fine right end of Michigan State, is down on the field about the 27.
Jimmy, let me look at that play once again. There was Harry Long, who rushed Goodday very hard on that play and made him throw the ball too fast.
That's the end of the first quarter. That's just about the end of the first quarter. There's about 1 second left as that clock was stopped because of the injury to Gene Washington of Michigan State, who is now walking off the field. We're at a loss to know exactly what happened to Gene on that play. He came down and looked as he turned as if he fell on his shoulder because Tommy Longo of Notre Dame, the left defensive halfback, moved in to make the interception. There's 1 second showing on the scoreboard clock.
And Jimmy, what an interception that was. Tommy Longo dove for that ball and just caught the ball before it touched the ground. A beautiful catch by Longo. However, the rush by Harry Long was the outstanding play of that game. He was really on Jude, and Jude didn't have a chance to sit on that pass. He was badly rushed. And here timeout is in. Time in for Jimmy.
Okay, Moose Krause. As you can see Coach Johnny Ray on the sidelines patting all of these defensive football players. Notre Dame has the ball. First down, 10 yards to go from the 24-yard line of Michigan State. Sheridan and Eddy split to the right. Schlock rolling to his right, looking for someone to throw to. Fires out here, and it's intercepted by Michigan State at the 8-yard line. A pass intended for Bill Wolski. And that's the end of the first quarter with the score Notre Dame 3, Michigan State nothing. And now this word from B.F. Goodrich. Michigan State gets the ball right back on a fine interception by Jess Phillips, the safety man for the Spartans. All right, it's Spartans ball. First down, 10 yards to go from their own 8-yard line. As Washington, back in the ball game, splits wide to the right. There's the snap. The pitch back goes to Jones, gets some running room around the left side, goes up to the 15, 16-yard line. He's knocked out of bounds over there by Jim Lynch and Pete Duranko. Clinton Jones. Give him a couple of yards and he can go. He picked up 11 yards. Or just over 10. The ball is just outside the 18-yard line of Michigan State. Jones going into this football game had picked up 670 yards on 145 carries. State's ball, first down, 10 yards to go from their own 18-yard line. Vassie's out, Alan Page in for Notre Dame. The handoff goes to Dwight Lee. He pounds his way over left guard. And he's out over the 25, the 30 to the 32-yard line before he's knocked down by Alan Page, who just replaced Vassie's in the football game. Another first down, Michigan State out to the 33-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go. Spartans from their own 33. Unbalanced line to the right. Jude, the quarterback. There's the snap. He rolls to his right, looking for a receiver. Shoots it out here, complete at the 35 to number 44. His fine fullback, Eddie Cotton. Cotton bowled his way over the 40-yard line to about the 41, where he was dumped by John Horney and Mike McGill. As the Spartans are moving the ball now, they brought it from their own 8-yard line out to their 41. Second down, a yard to go. Spartans ball at their own 41. Split to the left is Lee. To the right is Washington. Draw play to Jones. Going around the left side now. Gets away from one tackler. He's got the first down to about the 46-yard line. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. Jones gains 6 yards and a first down. It's first down. 10 yards to go. Michigan State from their own 47-yard line. Unbalanced to the right, the handoff. No handoff. Jude keeps the ball. He looks, gets away. He fumbles the ball. And let's see who's got it. It bounced around there in about 10 different ways, and Michigan State has it. Dick Arrington was in there to hit Steve Jude and make him fumble. And looked for a moment like Alan Page of Notre Dame had it. Then it looked like Jim Lynch had it. However, Michigan State has that football. Eddie Cotton goes out of the ball game now. He's replaced at fullback by number 45, Bob Apisa. He's gained 661 yards for the Spartans. Second down and 10 yards to go. There's the snap. A pass out here goes to number 26, Clinton Jones, down to the Notre Dame 40-yard line. And that will be a pickup of 13 yards. Jude to Jones. Nick Rassus made the stop for Notre Dame.
Well, the offense of Michigan State is really moving. They made 4 first downs in a row and 2 beautiful passes by Jude to Jones, who made the 2 first downs for them. So the Michigan State Spartans are on the move. They're inside of Notre Dame's territory.
It's first down, 10 yards to go. Spartans from the Notre Dame 39-yard line. There's the snap. Dwight Lee gets the ball. He's brought down immediately as he tries left guard. Alan Page is in there. Dwight Lee picks up. Let's give him 2 yards on that play and call it second down. 8 yards to go, Spartans, from the Notre Dame 37-yard line. Out of the huddle come the Spartans with second and 8. Washington split wide to the right. There's the snap. Jude keeps the ball, tries to pitch it back, can't, and then keeps it himself and goes down to about the 30-yard line. Fine play that time by Steve Jude, who has set 12 individual records for Michigan State so far this year. Here's the score in the first quarter. Ohio State 6, the University of Michigan, nothing. 7 yards on the play for Steve Jude. The ball is at the 30-yard line of Notre Dame. It's third down and 1 to go for the Spartans. Unbalanced line to the right, straight T in the backfield. There's the snap, the handoff, no handoff. Keeping the ball, and now pitching back to number 34, Dwight Lee, but the whistle had blown. The handoff at first appeared to go to Bob Apisa. However, Steve Jude kept the ball, and as he was hit and brought down, lateraled it back to Dwight Lee, who took off around left end. However, the referee had already blown the whistle, and the play was dead. A loss of 2.5 yards on the play, so it's fourth down and 3 yards to go, Michigan State. As a timeout is being called. And timeout is called with the score, Notre Dame 3, Michigan State nothing. And let's hear this from Kaiser Jeep Corporation. There's 10 minutes, 37 seconds remaining here in the first half. Notre Dame has the lead 3-0. Michigan State has the ball. Fourth down, 3 yards to go from the Notre Dame 32. And Dick Kenny, the field goal kicker, is not in the ball game. Duffy Doherty elects to go for it. He wants the 6 points. They're up there. There's the snap. A pitch back goes to Apisa, and he is hit at the 30-yard line. He does not get the first down.
He didn't make that, Jimmy. He was stopped just about a yard short. The Notre Dame defense was excellent on that play. In fact, Tom Carey came all the way from his halfback position to help Page and Lynch on that one. So Notre Dame takes over now on their own 30-yard line with 10 minutes and 29 seconds left to play, Jimmy.
Credit some fine defensive play by Pete DeRankle, Alan Page, Jim Lynch, and Nick Rassus. All right, it's first down, 10 yards to go. Notre Dame from their own 30-yard line. I formation. Eddie's the deep man. There's the snap. The ball goes to Conjar over left guard. He's up to about the 33-yard line before Ron Gubert and George Webster combine to bring him down. Pickup of 3 yards on the play. The ball at the 33-yard line. It's second down, 7 yards to go. Notre Dame from their own 33. Out of the huddle they come. Quinn is the center. Schlock the quarterback. I formation. There's the snap. Schlock with the ball. He keeps it. Goes over left tackle. And he's brought down by Gubert once again. Big 85, Bob Viney also in there along with Charlie Thornhill, the linebacker on the right side for the Spartans. A pickup of a yard on the play for quarterback Bill Schlock. And here comes Dan McGinn again, replacing Bill Walski with 3rd and 6. McGinn usually lines up in the I formation as the deep man and takes a few step backs. We never know if he's going to pass, run, or quick kick it. That's exactly what he's doing right now. He's lined up there. Let's see if he bounces back. He does. There's the snap. He does not get the ball. Schlock has got the ball. Hands off to Conjar over the right tackle, and he goes to the 36-yard line before he's brought down. Charlie Bubba Smith, 268-pound defensive end. It's fourth down, 3 yards to go, Notre Dame, and McGinn stays in the ball game to punt. The ball is at the 36-yard line of Notre Dame. And back deep is Drake Garrett for Michigan State. There's the snap. Big rush on this time. Low spiral. It was almost blocked. Garrett at his own 20-yard line. Walski is down there, misses him at the 25-yard line, and brought down at the 26-yard line is Drake Garrett by number 55, Tommy Sullivan of Notre Dame. A 44-yard kick that time by Dan McGinn.
You know, Jimmy, that Tommy Sullivan has been playing good football for Notre Dame all year round. He comes from Berkeley, California. However, he played his football at Bishop McGinnis High School in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. He's 230 pounds, a senior, playing a good game for the Irish.
First down, 10 yards to go. Spartans from their own 27. Jude goes back. He's looking for Washington. Rassus is with him. Incomplete at the 40-yard line of Notre Dame. The long bomb that time, Jude to Washington. Incomplete at the Notre Dame 40. And this exciting football game is being brought to you by the B.F. Goodrich Company and by Kaiser Jeep Corporation. Jim Ray replaces Steve Jude at quarterback for the Spartans, and he's a runner. It's second down, 10 yards to go. Spartans from their own 27. Unbalanced line to the right. Ray is running to the right, and he's hit by Jim Lynch right at the line of scrimmage. A great defensive play by Lynch, who just literally threw off a blocker into the air and hit Ray immediately. And Ray goes out, and Jude comes back in.
Jimmy Lynch is Notre Dame's captain on defense. He comes from Lima, Ohio, weighs 215 pounds, has been the leading tackler for Notre Dame all year round.
Spartans ball, third down, 10 yards to go from their own 27. Unbalanced line to the left this time. Straight T in the backfield. There's the snap. There's a fumble. Jude's got it. He's looking. There's a flag on the play, and there's also a fumble, and Notre Dame's got it at the 17-yard line. But wait a minute. There's a flag on the play. 51 for Notre Dame. John Horney recovered Jude's fumble. And it's a holding penalty, I believe, against Michigan State. And it's declined by Notre Dame. The Irish have the ball.
That was a great play by Notre Dame's left end and Jimmy Lynch on that one. And also Page came in very nicely on that play to get the fumble for Notre Dame. Now it's a big chance for the Irish as they lead 3-0 with 7 minutes and 25 seconds left to play. The ball is on the 18-yard line of the Spartans.
Irish out of the huddle. First down, 10 yards to go from the Spartan 18-yard line. I formations lock the quarterback. There's the snap. Eddie gets the ball around left end. Cuts in. He's down to about the 16-yard line. He's really belted by Jess Phillips. Two men were holding on to him, and Phillips came along and really put the clincher on. Don Jaffingha was the first man to hit Nick Eddy. Eddy picks up a yard on the play. The ball is spotted right at the 17-yard line by referee Howard Wirtz. It'll be second down, 9 yards to go. Notre Dame from the Michigan State 17-yard line. Out of the huddle are the Irish. Walski, the deep man in the eye. There's the snap. Going back to pass and rolling to his right is Zlock. He's being chased, and he's brought down at the 23-yard line by Bob Viney, the right defensive end for the Spartans.
There again, Jimmy, was a great defensive maneuver by the Spartans. Sheridan was covered on that play very well, so was Nick Getty. So Zlock had nothing to do but run with the ball. It's a good thing he didn't throw it. It could have been an interception because Notre Dame's two pass receivers downfield were well covered. It's third down now for Notre Dame.
Moose Krause, it's third down 14 from the 22-yard line of Michigan State as Sheridan splits to the left with Eddie right behind him. There's the snap. Rolling to his left now is Zlock being chased. Fires down the middle. Intercepted in the end zone by Jappinga. He's back to the 5, back to the 10, 15, 20, and runs out of bounds at the 25-yard line. A fine interception that time by Don Jappinga, the co-captain of Michigan State. It was intended for Phil Sheridan. 2 interceptions now for the Spartans, one by Jappinga, one by Phillips. Going into this football game, Jappinga had 3 interceptions, as did Phillips. All right, there's 6 minutes, 4 seconds remaining in the first half as the Spartans come out. First down, 10 yards to go from their own 26-yard line. There's the snap. The handoff goes to Apisa. He's hit by Jim Lynch at the line of scrimmage. However, he bulls his way forward for a couple of yards. Getting up off the bottom, Pete Duranko and Harry Long. 3-yard pickup on the play by Apisa. Presbicki goes out of the ball game, replaced by Tecklin at right tackle for Michigan State. It's third down, 7 yards to go. Spartans from their own 29-yard line. Unbalanced to the right, there's the snap. Dwight Lee with the ball. He gets away from one tackler. However, Jim Lynch hits him at the 35 and brings him down with help from John Horney and Dave Martin. Alexander comes in the ball game now, replacing Dick Arrington at defensive tackle for the Irish. If I said 40-yard line, I meant 35-yard line. It's third down, about a yard to go for the Spartans. Ball right at their own 35-yard line. As out of the huddle they come. Notre Dame bunched up in a 7-man line this time. There's the snap. Jones with the ball. He's got the first down up to the 38-yard line. Rassus came up fast to make the stop on him. Jim Lynch gets up again off the bottom of the pile. However, it's first down, Michigan State, from their own 38-yard line. 4 minutes, 39 seconds remaining here in the first half. Notre Dame has the lead by the score of 3-0. Spartans ball, unbalanced to the right. There's the snap. Jones around left end, gets away from one tackler, 2 tacklers, 3 tacklers, and here's a football player. Clinton Jones got away from 3 tacklers that time. He's already gained 54 yards and 8 carries in this football game, and he picks up another 10 yards to the 48-yard line of the Spartans. Almost good for the first down. And there'll be an official measurement. Nick Rassus made the stop for Notre Dame. Jones had a big rush on him that time. Actually, he was almost trapped deep in his own backfield. However, he was able to shake off a couple of tacklers and make the corner on the left side. He's got about 2 inches to go for the first down.
Here's some first period scores. Princeton 7, Dartmouth 0. First period, Syracuse 7, Boston College 7, a tie. First period, Maryland and Virginia tied at 14-14. Also a tie at the first quarter, Yale and Harvard 0-0. William and Mary 7, Richmond 0 in the first period. Those are your scores from around the country.
The Spartans have won 8 of the last 9 football games played against Notre Dame and 11 of the last 15. However, in the overall series, it's Notre Dame 17 and Michigan State 13. Score here, 3-0 Notre Dame with 4 minutes showing on the scoreboard clock. It's the Spartans ball, second down, about an inch to go from their own 48-yard line. Unbalanced line to the right. Jude, the quarterback. There's the snap. The handoff goes to the left halfback. Jones over the center. He's got the first down to the 50-yard line. Alexander and Harry Long making the stop for Notre Dame. This is Duffy Daugherty's first undisputed Big Ten crown, and a fine season he's had. First down, 10 yards to go, Spartans. The ball is right at the 50-yard line. Unbalanced line to the right, straight T in the backfield. There's the snap. The handoff goes to Dwight Lee. He's hit right at the line of scrimmage by Mike McGill. He may have fallen forward and picked up a half a yard, if that. John Horney also in there on the tackle. Picks up about a foot on the play. Tecklin out of the ball game. Presbicki back in at right tackle for State.
You notice, Jimmy, Duffy Daugherty is sending a play in with each counter.
That's right, Moose Krause. It's second down, 10 yards to go. The ball on the 50-yard line. There's the snap. Jude gets the ball, did not pitch back, and he's hit immediately at his own 48-yard line. He tried to get the ball to Apisa, but one of the Notre Dame defensive men knocked Apisa down, and he's limping off the playing field now. Dwight Lee, the left halfback of Michigan State, has picked up 42 yards and 9 carries in this football game. And it appears from this vantage point that Bob Apisa has injured his knee once again. There's timeout on the field with the score. Notre Dame 3, Michigan State nothing. And now this word from B.F. Goodrich. Dick Arrington replaces Harry Alexander at right tackle for Notre Dame defensively. And Eddie Cotton comes in at fullback, replacing Bob Apisa for the Spartans. It's third down, 11 yards to go. Spartans from their own 49-yard line, as Washington and Lee are flanked to the right. Jude, I should say, rolls to the right, completes the pass out here to Washington at the 35-yard line of Notre Dame, and that'll be a first down. Washington is really wrapped up at the 35-yard line, and he's down at this moment. Jim Lynch over there to hit him, along with Nick Rassus and Tom Longo. Timeout on the field with a score. Notre Dame 3, Michigan State nothing. And now let's hear this from Kaiser Jeep Corporation. A 15-yard pass completion going from Steve Jude to Gene Washington, who is all right now. He was injured momentarily. The ball is at the Notre Dame 35-yard line. It's first down, 10 yards to go, Spartans. Unbalanced line to the right. Jude's the quarterback. There's the snap. The handoff goes to his fullback, Cotton, up the center. He's hit immediately by Mike McGill. Eddie Cotton picks up about a yard on the play. So it's second down. Let's give him 2 yards on the play because it's second down and about 8, we'll call it, from the 38.5-yard line of Notre Dame. 1:41 showing on that scoreboard clock. Second down, 8 yards to go as the Spartans are out of the huddle. Wing T to the left this time. Lee on the wing. Jones with the ball around left end. He's got some blocking. Gets away from one tackler. Boy, he's a dancer. Tony Carey's got him at the 23-yard line. Alan Page had a hold of him right at the line of scrimmage, but couldn't hold on to him. A 10-yard pickup by Clinton Jones. The ball is at the Notre Dame 23-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go, Spartans. It's Lee and Washington on the flank to the right. Back to pass goes Jude. He looks, now he runs, and he's brought down at the 21-yard line by Harry Long and Jim Lynch. Pete Duranko also in there.
There's 48 seconds left to play now, Jimmy, in the second quarter. And the ball is on the Notre Dame 21-yard line. Second down and about 8 yards to go for the Spartans. 40 seconds now.
Needless to say, we're in field goal range for Dick Kenny of Michigan State. It's second and 8 from the Notre Dame 21 as Jude goes back to pass. He's looking, fires a pass out here. It's complete. At the 8-yard line to Washington, he goes out of bounds and stops the clock. As the Spartans are battling for time now. They're definitely within field goal range. However, they'd like to put up 6 on that scoreboard. The ball is right at the 9-yard line as Duffy Daugherty continues to call each play for the Spartans. Jim Presbicki comes in at right tackle, replacing Dave Tecklin. It's first down, goal-to-goal Spartans from the Notre Dame 9-yard line. Unbalanced line to the left, straight T. Rolling to his left is Jude, throws in the end zone, incomplete. Washington almost had that football. However, it's incomplete in the end zone. Good defensive play by Nick Rassus, the safety man for Notre Dame. 21 seconds remaining in the half. Bresbicki out of the ball game. Tecklin in. Notre Dame has the lead, 3-0 with 21 seconds remaining in the first half. However, the Spartans have the ball with second down. Goal to go from the Notre Dame 9-yard line. Unbalanced line to the left. Spartans out of that huddle. Straight T in the backfield. Jude, the quarterback, he goes back to pass, rolls to his left. He's looking, gets away from the tackler, fires in the end zone. It's intercepted in the end zone by Notre Dame. What a football game. Dave Martin has that ball for the Irish.
Jimmy, what a play by Martin on that one. Jude was rushed again very hard by Notre Dame's right end Page on that one, and Arrington almost got to him before he threw the ball. That was a great interception for Notre Dame. We only have 8 seconds left to play in the second quarter. 6 seconds now, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. And there's the end of the first half. Notre Dame leads 3-0.
Now, if we can just get my glasses once again so I can see the football field, we'll be in business. My fine spotter, Howie Murdoch, hands me his glasses, and believe me, they're not much help. All right, Notre Dame will kick off and defend the goal to our left, which is the north goal, and back deep is Drake Garrett for Michigan State. Ray kicks the ball. Ryan make that. Kicks the ball for Notre Dame. Garrett's got it at the 10, back to the 15, and brought down at the 16-yard line. Duranko in there, along with Ryan, who kicked the ball, and Dave Martin. The ball is right at the Spartan 17-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go, Michigan State. Eddie Cotton is in at fullback for the Spartans. Split wide to the left is Washington. First and 10 from the Spartan 17. There's the snap. The handoff goes to Cotton. He's hit right at the line of scrimmage, but bulls his way forward for about a yard. Dave Martin made the stop for Notre Dame. It's Probostol, West, Jenkins, Dimitrov, Karpinski, Tecklin, and Washington, the front seven for Michigan State. Jones, Cotton, Lee, and Jude form the backfield for the Spartans. A gain of 2 on that last play. It's second down and 8 from the Spartan 19. Wing T to the right. Washington split. There's the snap. Lee with the ball around right end. He's over the 20 to about the 25-yard line before he's brought down. Tom Longo and Jim Lynch combined to make the tackle for Notre Dame. A 6-yard pickup on the play. It's third down and 2 now. The ball just over the 25-yard line of Michigan State. Notre Dame in the 6-man line. There's the pitch back to Dwight Lee. He is close to the first down, but he is really hit by Nick Rassus. I believe he's got the first down, but Nick Rassus came in and really took his pins out from under him. And we're going to have an official measurement. We were talking about the defense of both of these teams, but it's interesting also to look at the offense. Notre Dame is number 2 in rushing average with 255.3 per game. It's a first down, Michigan State. Notre Dame is also number 11 in total offense with 351 and tied for number 1 in scoring with an average of 33.4. Michigan State is number 6 in rushing offense average at 240. All right, Spartans ball, first down, 10 yards to go from their own 27. Wing T to the right, unbalanced right. Jude, the quarterback, hands to Lee. Over left tackle, he's up over the 30 to about the 31-yard line. Mike McGill, Dave Martin, and Dick Arrington all combined to make the stop on Dwight Lee. Only a sophomore for Duffy Doherty, and a fine one. First period, Purdue 20, Indiana nothing. 5-yard pickup on that last play. It's second down. Let's make it 4 yards. Second down and 6 yards from the 31-yard line of Michigan State. There's the snap. Clinton Jones over left tackle. He is hit but plows forward to about the 34-yard line. Duranko up off the top. Arrington up off the bottom along with Harry Long. John Horney and Mike McGill, the 2 linebackers, also in there. It's It's third down now for Michigan State. About 3 yards to go. The ball is at their own 29-yard line. Out of the huddle come the Spartans, the number 1 college football team in the land. Wing T to the right, unbalanced right. 3rd and 3 from the 29. The pitch back to Lee. He's around right in. He's hit by Rassus at the 30 and brought down at the 31-yard line. Well, there's a big decision for Duffy Doherty. It'll be 4th and about 1 from the 31-yard line. Dick Kenny comes in the ball game, and it appears that Michigan State will punt that football. However, anything can happen when the Irish and the Spartans get together, and usually does. Kenny is back deep. It looks like he's going to punt. Nick Rassus stands back at his own 25-yard line. There's the snap. Kenny kicks the ball. Nice high spiral this time, driving Rassus back to his 20. He lets it go, bounces on the 5, and it's in the end zone. And right down there to try and stop that ball was Gene Washington. And the ball hesitated at about the 1-yard line. Washington went to grab it, slipped and fell. The ball went in the end zone.
Yes, he almost got it on the 1-yard line. That was a very close play. Washington tried to stop the ball to keep it from going over. If he had, then the Notre Dame would have taken over on the 1-yard line. Now, the ball is called a touchback, and the Irish take over on the 20.
First down, 10 yards to go. Notre Dame from their own 20-yard line. Sheridan and Eddy are wide to the right. There's the snap. Zlock hands the ball off to Conjar, his fullback, over center, and gets to about the 21-yard line before he's stopped by that big Michigan State line. That was a 64-yard kick by Dick Kenny of Michigan State. Weatherspoon and Webster, the 2 men to make the stop on Larry Conjar. A yard pickup on the play. Let's give him 2 yards and call it 2nd down and 8. The ball at the 22-yard line of Notre Dame. Eddy and Talaga are split to the left this time. Zlock, the quarterback. There's the snap. Fumble. Zlock has got it for Notre Dame. As he turned to hand the ball off, he hit his knee with it, appeared, and he dropped the ball. However, he fell on it at the 16-yard line of Notre Dame. Loss of about 6 yards on the play, so we'll call it 3rd down and 14 from the 16-yard line as Walski comes out of the ball game. He's replaced by Dan McGinn, and Dan McGinn again, if you can say it that way, is the deep man in the I formation with 3rd and 14. He's dropping back now. He gets the ball. It's a quick kick, and going back to the 45-yard line where it's taken, back to the 50, 45, 40. Jess Phillips took that ball for Michigan State at his own 40-yard line and returned it to the 40-yard line of Notre Dame, where he was knocked out of bounds by Bob Meeker. And the Spartans, for the first time in the second half, have good field position. A 42-yard kick that time by Dan McGinn. A quick kick. Spartans ball, first down, 10 yards to go from the Notre Dame 39-yard line. Unbalanced line to the right. Straight T in the backfield. Hand off to Jones, the right halfback. Goes to his left. He breaks through the 30. He's in the clear at the 20. And brought down by Tom Longo, the last man that had a chance to get Jones. A 20-yard run on the play for Clinton Jones over left tackle. Dick Arrington goes out of the ball game limping now. He's replaced by Harry Alexander. In the first period, Tennessee leads Kentucky 3-0. Spartans ball, first down, 10 yards to go from the 19-yard line of Notre Dame as Clint Jones just ran for 20 yards. And the Notre Dame student body is making too much noise, and Steve Jude wisely calls timeout for the Spartans. However, I don't believe this will be an official timeout charged against the Spartans. It'll be an official timeout charged to the officials. All right, it's first down, 10 yards to go. Spartans from the Notre Dame 19-yard line. Unbalanced line to the right. There's the snap. Dwight Lee gets the ball over right tackle. He's inside the 15 to about the 11-yard line. On that power play over right tackle that Michigan State runs so well, Harry Long made the stop for Notre Dame. 7 yards on the play by Dwight Lee. It's second down now and 3 yards to go with the ball at the Notre Dame 12-yard line. Notre Dame in a 6-man line. Spartans out of the huddle with 2nd and 3 from the 12. There's the handoff to Lee, the left halfback. He's hit. He does not reach the 10-yard line. Long, Duranko, and Dave Martin combined to make the stop for Notre Dame. Presbicki replaces Tecklin at right tackle for the Spartans. Make that Tecklin replacing Presbicki. It'll be third down, 2 yards to go. Spartans from the Notre Dame 11-yard line. Out of the huddle they come. Unbalanced line to the right, straight T in the backfield. Jude gets the ball, hands off to Jones over left guard. He's got the first down, I believe, to about the 6-yard line. Clinton Jones picks up the first down for Michigan State. Pete Duranko made the stop for the Irish.
Well, this is a big chance for the Michigan State Spartan team with 7 minutes and 42 seconds left to play in the third period. Notre Dame leading 3-0, and the ball now is on the Notre Dame 7-yard line. The Spartans are on the move.
It's first down, goal to go for the Spartans at the Notre Dame 7-yard line. Unbalanced line to the left. Straight T in the backfield. The handoff goes to Lee over right tackle. He's inside the 5 and brought down about the 3-yard line. Dwight Lee fighting hard for those extra yards. Martin to make the stop for Notre Dame. Tom Regner comes in the ball game now for Notre Dame, replacing John Horney. It's second down, goal to go for the Spartans at the 3-yard line of Notre Dame. Unbalanced line to the right. There's the snap. Jones gets the ball over left tackle, and he's close. Touchdown, Michigan State. Clinton Jones goes 3 yards off left tackle for the score for Michigan State. And the Spartans now take the lead, 6-3 with 6:50 remaining here in the third quarter. And Dick Kenny, the barefooted kicker from Hawaii, in to attempt the extra point for Michigan State. There's the snap, low. He gets the ball in the air, however, and it is no good. The clock has stopped on the field with a score here at Notre Dame Stadium. Michigan State 3, Michigan State 6, Notre Dame 3. Dick Kenny will kick off for the Spartans of Michigan State. Back deep for Notre Dame, Nick Rassus, Nick Eddy, and Bill Walski, all standing at about their own 5-yard line. There's the whistle. Kenny, with his bare foot, approaches the ball. There's the kick. It's a beauty. High, end over end. Rassus at the 1-yard line. Back to the 5, 10, 15. He slips, gets up to the 20, and to the 25-yard line. Nick Rassus. Nick Eddy that time came down and threw a good block on that barefooted kicker, Dick Kenny. And they congratulated one another as they both got up. It's Notre Dame's ball, first down, 10 yards to go from their own 24-yard line. Bill Sheridan splits to the right. Pitch back goes to Eddy around left end. He cuts in now and gets over the 25 to about the 26-yard line. Irish seem to be having some trouble with the turf at that end of the field because Nick Rassus slipped on the kickoff return, and that time Nick Eddy slipped a little bit as he tried to cut. Ron Gubert made the tackle for Michigan State. A pickup of 1 yard on the play. It's second down and 9. The ball just outside the 25-yard line of Notre Dame. Blocked the quarterback. There's the snap. He rolls to his right. He's looking. He's got the blocking. Fires out here over the head of Sheridan. Sheridan was wide open at the 37-yard line. The ball just went over his outstretched fingertips. Guarding on the play was Jim Summers for Michigan State. The Spartan drive, when they scored their touchdown on the last series, carried 39 yards in 7 plays. Burowich out of the ball game for Michigan State, replaced by Witherspoon. It's second down, third down, make that 9 yards to go from the Notre Dame 25. Slot goes back to pass. He's rushed. He's looking. Incomplete at the 35-yard line to Nick Eddy. That was intended to be a screen pass. However, Bubba Smith, the left defensive end for Michigan State, smelled it, rolled out with Nick Eddy and covered him, so Eddy then traveled upfield. However, the pass was incomplete. It'll be fourth down for Notre Dame now, as Dan McGinn comes in to kick for the Irish. Back deep again for Michigan State is Drake Garrett, standing at his own 33-yard line. There's the snap. Big rush. Good kick. High spiral this time. Garrett drives him back to his own 26. Gets away from the tackler, 2 tacklers. However, he's thrown down at about the 33-yard line. Tom Sullivan down there fast to put the stop on Drake Garrett. A 49-yard kick that time by McGinn. Now let's pause 10 seconds for station identification.
Where you'll hear the Green Bay Packer Minnesota Viking professional football game direct from the Met in Bloomington, Minnesota tomorrow here on KSO at 1:30, channel 146 in Des Moines.
Michigan State's ball. First down, 10 yards to go from their own 33. Unbalanced line to the right, straight T in the backfield. Jude gets the snap, hands off to Lee over right tackle. He bounces off one tackler, gets over the 35 to about the 37-yard line before he's dumped by Dick Arrington and Pete Duranko. Not before, however. He picks up 5 yards on the play, so it'll be 2nd and 5 as Tecklin replaces Presbicki at right tackle for the Spartans. 2nd and 5 from the Michigan State 37-yard line. Unbalanced line to the right. There's the snap. Jones with the ball. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, but squirms forward to about the 40-yard line. Where it'll be 3rd down. And about 3 for the Spartans. McGill and Horney make the stop for Notre Dame. Duffy Doherty using his shuttle system to call plays here this afternoon. Big play for the Irish defense now. 3rd down and 3 for Michigan State from their own 40-yard line. Out of the huddle they come. Wing T to the right this time. Jones actually in the slot. The pitch back goes to Lee. And he is, I believe, short of the first down over right tackle, about to the 32. However, he may be close enough for Duffy Doherty to give it a try. We're going to have an official measurement now as the referee, Howard Wirtz, calls for the change. 3 minutes, 59 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter. And they stretch the chain, and he's got about 1.5 feet to go. Boston University, 15, Rhode Island 3, first half score. Kenny's coming in the ball game. Michigan State has a 4th down, about 1 foot to go from their own 42-yard line. So the question is, will they kick or won't they? And my guess would be that they will. Kenny standing back at his own 28-yard line. Rassus stands at his 15. Kenny will have the wind behind him with this kick. Waiting for the snap. There it is. Gets the kick away. In there fast was Alan Page. Good kick. Fair catch at the 14-yard line by Nick Rassus. And this keeps Notre Dame back in the hole. The ball is now spotted at the 15-yard line. It'll be first down, 10 yards to go, Notre Dame from their own 15. For Michigan State, Jones has carried 15 times and gained 106 yards. Dwight Lee has carried 16 times and gained 69 yards. A 44-yard kick that time by Dick Kenny of Michigan State. Irish ball, first down, 10 yards to go from their own 15-yard line. I formation, Schlock the quarterback, there's the snap. He rolls to his right, looking to pass, fires out here, incomplete at the 20-yard line. Intended for Nick Eddy. Big rush that time by Bubba Smith. He had to throw around Big Bubba. Couldn't throw over him, he's too big. 6'6", 268 pounds. That cheer you hear going up on the football field now is for Tom Shane, the sophomore quarterback, who comes in to replace Bill Schlock. It's second down, 10 yards to go, Notre Dame from their own 15-yard line. Splitting to the left this time, Tulaga, along with Nick Eddy. Shane, the quarterback, he gets the ball, rolls to his left. He's running, and he's going to be brought down at about the 11-yard line by Don Jappinga. Nice defensive play by Jappinga. Schlock back in the ball game now, replacing Shane. After Shane loses about 4. It's third down, 14 yards to go, Notre Dame from their own 11-yard line with 2:55 remaining here in the 3rd period. Wide to the right, Sheridan and Eddy. There's the snap. There's the handoff to Bill Walski over left tackle. He gets to about the 13-yard line, perhaps the 14. So that'll bring in McGinn to kick for Notre Dame. This Michigan State defense is tough this afternoon, as it has been all year long for Duffy Doherty. McGinn will be standing at his own goal line to kick this for the Irish. Drake Garrett is back at his own 40. There's the snap. Gets the kick away. It's a wobbler this time. Bouncing at the 45-yard. Gets a Notre Dame roll and bounces all the way down to about the 33-yard line of Michigan State, where it's down by number 55, Tommy Sullivan.
Here are some scores around the country, Jimmy, at the first period. In the East, Connecticut, Holy Cross tied 0-0 in the first period. Also a first quarter score, West Virginia 0, George Washington 3. In the first half, Pittsburgh 20, Penn State 0. And here at Notre Dame, Michigan State 6, Notre Dame 3 with 1 minute and 53 seconds left to play in the third period.
Spartan ball, 1st and 10 at their own 34. Unbalanced right. Jones gets the ball, comes around the left side. He is hit at the 31-yard line and brought down by Dave Martin. There's a flag on the play. We'll have to see what the official call is. It's going to be a holding penalty, I believe, against Michigan State. The holding penalty was called, actually, right about where the tackle was made, so I would assume one of the blockers put the clamps on one of the Notre Dame would-be tacklers. Jim Lynch discusses it with the official, and it's going to be a walk-off against Michigan State, bringing the ball back to the 17-yard line. 15 yards against State for holding. That'll be first down, 25 yards to go, Spartans, from their own 17-yard line. Washington splits to the right, Lee to the left. Jude, the quarterback. Here's the draw play to Jones. Coming up the middle, however, Duranko's got him at the 20. Duranko was waiting for that one.
Yes, that was a great play by Duranko. He was blocked out on that, and he spun out of his block and made the tackle to stop the charge on that one.
Mitch Pruitt replaces Dwight Lee at left halfback for Michigan State. It's second down, 22-yard line. Second down, I should say, 22 yards to go from the 21. Is back to pass, goes Jude. Screen pass to Pruitt. He's got it, but brought down at the 22-yard line by Alan Page. Whoa, make that Jim Lynch. Jim Lynch at the 23-yard line. Now the ball is spotted. In that backfield now for Michigan State, it's Dwight Lee, Mitch Pruitt, and Clinton Jones, along with quarterback Steve Jude. Tecklin out of the ball game at right tackle, replaced by Joe Presbicki. 31 seconds remaining in the third period. State has the lead 6-3. It's third down, 21. The ball at the 23-yard line of Michigan State. The handoff goes to Jones this time. He is hit almost immediately. Fights his way forward to the 25. Regnar had him first, along with Jim Lynch. Well, that'll bring in Dick Kenny again. If I didn't mention it earlier, Dick Kenny kicks extra points and field goals without his shoe. However, he punts with his shoe on. That's the end of the third quarter with a score. Michigan State 6 and Notre Dame 3. With 4th and 19 from the Spartan 26, Dick Kenny is in to kick for Michigan State. Nick Rassus stands at his own 35 for the Irish. Waiting for the center. Looks like we're going to get a rush this time. There's the center. There's the snap. It's a good kick this time. Kenny gets it away. High spiral. Fair catch by Nick Rassus at his own 33-yard line. Now this, I believe, is the best field position Notre Dame has had here in the second half. They'll have the wind at their back during this last quarter. A 41-yard kick that time by Dick Kenny. Notre Dame's ball, 1st and 10 from their own 34. 14:44 remaining in this football game. The Spartans have the lead, 6-3. I formation. Handoff goes to Nick Eddy. He cuts in at the 35-yard line and is really belted by Ron Gouvert and Bob Viney for Michigan State. Nick Eddy picks up a yard for Notre Dame. It'll be second down, 9 yards to go for Notre Dame from their own 35-yard line. High formation this time. There's the snap. Back to pass. Goes Schlock. He's being chased. Fires out here. Incomplete. And we have a flag back where Schlock threw the ball from, and we'll have to see what the official call is. It looks like an intentional grounding call against Notre Dame. That's exactly what it is. So that moves the ball back to the Notre Dame 16-yard line. Big rush that time by the Spartans. Schlock tried to get the ball away, and in doing so, it's called for illegal grounding. It'll be 3rd down and 24. The ball at the Notre Dame 16-yard line. High formation, Eddie the deep man. Pitch back goes to Walski. He looks like he wants to throw. Now he's going to run. Slips and falls at the 17-yard line. Well, that'll bring in Dan McGinn to kick for Notre Dame. Jappinga going back deep for the Spartans. Give all the credit on that play a few moments ago to that big defense of Michigan State. McGinn, standing in his own end zone, will kick for Notre Dame. Drake Garrett now goes back deep for Michigan State. There's the snap. Big rush. It's almost blocked. He gets it away. End over end, bouncing at the 50, taken by Dwight. Garrett at the 45, gets away from a tackler. He's brought down right at the 50-yard line by Walski and Regner. A 42-yard kick that time by Dan McGinn for Notre Dame. Spartans have the ball. 1st down, 10 yards to go. The ball resting right at the 50-yard line. Harry Alexander in there defensively at tackle for Notre Dame, replacing Regner and Arrington. 1st and 10, Spartans from the 50-yard line. There's the snap. Dwight Lee gets the ball. He's hit immediately by Mike McGill. Falls forward into Notre Dame territory at about the 49-yard line. The pickup of a yard on the play. What a defensive battle this has been all afternoon. Michigan State is leading by the score of 6-3 with 12:37 remaining in this football game. Out of the huddle come the Spartans with 2nd down, 9 yards to go at the Notre Dame 49-yard line. Unbalanced line to the right. There's the snap. The handoff goes to Clinton Jones, and he is stopped immediately by Jim Lynch. Alan Page, Duranko, Horney, Alexander. They all had a piece that time of Clinton Jones.
First quarter score, 2nd-ranked Arkansas trailing Texas Tech 10-0 at the end of the first quarter.
Well, let's see what he called this time with 3rd and 8 from the Notre Dame 48-yard line. In the slot to the right this time is Jones. Split about 4 yards is Washington. Back to pass is Jude. Fires a pass out here. Incomplete at the 40-yard line. Mike McGill was over there to guard Clinton Jones and really racked him just as the ball came. Dick Kenny is in the football game now for Michigan State. He's got his shoe on. That would indicate he's going to punt. He's been known to kick the ball or attempt field goals from 59 yards. Rassus is back deep for Notre Dame, standing at his own 10-yard line. Waiting for the snap. There it is. It's a good one. It's a floater this time, bouncing at the Notre Dame 20. Now at the 15, taking a Michigan State bounce, going down to about the 12-yard line where Gene Washington gets a good grab on it for Michigan State.
And here, Jimmy, here are some scores. Northwestern 6, Illinois 7 at the end of the first period. First half score, Indiana 14, Purdue 20. And a first period score, Iowa 7, North Carolina State nothing. And here at Notre Dame, it's Michigan State 6, Notre Dame 3 with 11 minutes and 30 seconds left to play.
Notre Dame out of the huddle. 1st down, 10 yards to go from their own 12-yard line. Schlock rolls to his right. He's looking to throw, fires out here, and it is intercepted at the 19-yard line by Michigan State. Number 20, Jim Summers, got that ball for the Spartans. A great interception, I might add, by Jim Summers. He scooped that ball right off the ground. All right, it's the Spartans' ball. 1st down, 10 yards to go from the Notre Dame 19-yard line. Washington splits to the right. Lee splits to the left. It's unbalanced right for the Spartans. Jude rolls to his left, fires a long one out here, and it is a touchdown for Michigan State. Complete to Gene Washington in the left end zone. Touchdown, Michigan State. Let's check and see if that was Washington or Dwight Lee. That was Dwight Lee, number 34, and not Washington, number 84. Well, the Spartans are on the scoreboard. Once again here this afternoon as Dick Kenny comes in to attempt the extra point for Michigan State. Wait a minute, Kenny goes out of the ball game now, and they're going to run for it. Jim Ray is in at quarterback for State. There's the snap. He's rolling to his right, looking to throw. He's being chased at the 10. He fires a pass out here, incomplete in the end zone. The clock has stopped on the field with a score here at Notre Dame. Michigan State 12 and Notre Dame 3.
Here's an invitation to breakfast from Fred Dowie's Colonial Pancake Inn. Now, that in itself isn't really such a big deal, but just wait till you try it. Pancake Inn features breakfast every morning just the way you want it. Home cooking without curlers, if you know what I mean. Men, things are rough enough in the morning just getting the whiskers to go down the drain. So don't find out the rest of the day with just juice and warmed-over coffee. Join the gang at the Colonial Pancake Inn. You'll be surprised at how many of your friends are there. Relax and enjoy a breakfast to set you up to whip the whole world. Let the little lady sleep in next week. She'll enjoy it, too. Don't fight the cold kitchen battle when you've got that early morning appointment. Come on over to the Colonial Pancake Inn at 56th and Hickman and join the gang. Breakfast the way you like it. The Colonial Pancake Inn, home cooking without curlers, if you know what I mean.
Big Ten scores, first quarter, Minnesota 14, Wisconsin nothing. First quarter, Iowa 7, North Carolina State nothing. And that big one at the quarter, Texas Tech 10, Arkansas nothing.
Dick Kenny will kick off for Michigan State. 10:58 remaining in this football game, and the Spartans have the lead by the score of 12-3. Back deep for Notre Dame, Walski, Eddy, and Rassus. A wobbler this time by Kenny, taken at the 10-yard line by Walski. 10, 15, 20, 25, and out to the 30-yard line, Bill Walski. He fumbles the ball, but the whistle had blown, so the Irish will maintain possession. Walski was brought down by Bubba Smith and Bob Viney. Bill Schlock in at quarterback for Notre Dame. It's the Irish ball. First down, 10 yards to go from the 29-yard line of Notre Dame. Out of the huddle they come. Walski, Eddy, and Conjar are the setbacks. I formation, Eddy is deep. There's the snap. Going back to pass is Schlock. Got plenty of time. Fires it finally, and it's complete at the 42-yard line. We'll get that receiver. It's Tom Tolaga at the 42-yard line. And I believe the Schlock had about 45 seconds to throw that football. There was no rush that time at all. Tom Shane comes in to replace Bill Schlock. A 13-yard pickup on the play moves the ball to the Notre Dame 32. Eddy and Sheridan are split wide to the left. It's first down, 10 yards to go, Notre Dame from their own 42. As rolling to his left comes Tom Shane. He's looking, fires out here, incomplete at the 50-yard line, intended for Nick Eddy. Way over his head that time. He was guarded very closely by Jess Phillips. 9 minutes, 47 seconds remaining in this football game. The Spartans have the lead, 12-3. As Schlock comes in the ball game, replacing Shane. It's second down, 10 yards to go. Notre Dame from their own 42-yard line. Tolaga and Eddy are split to the left. Conjar and Walski in that backfield. Second and 10. There's the snap. Conjar gets the ball over center and may have picked up 2 yards before he's brought down by Ron Gubert and George Webster. The ball is spotted right at the 43-yard line. A gain of 1 yard on that last play. It's third down and 9 for Notre Dame from their own 43-yard line, as they have been unable today to move that football on the ground against that big Michigan State defense. Third and 9 from the 43. Split to the left, Sheridan and Eddy. as Locke gets the ball, rolls to his left. He's being chased, fires it out here, and it's incomplete at the 40-yard line of Michigan State. Back there defending was Phillips and Goubert. It was intended for Nick Eddy. Fourth down situation for Notre Dame. Dan McGinn comes into the ball game to kick for the Irish with 4th and 9. Drake Garrett, number 39, is back deep for the Spartans. He's going way deep. McGinn at his own 30. There's the snap. Gets the kick away. It's almost blocked again. High, long spiral. Garrett lets it bounce inside the 15, down to the 10, and out of bounds at the 11-yard line. Nick Rassus really charges out onto the field. He, of course, is the defensive safety of Notre Dame. And he'd like to get that ball deep in the Spartan territory. A 46-yard boot that time by Dan McGinn. Eddie Cotton in at fullback for the Spartans. Steve Jude, the quarterback. Spartans will have a first down, 10 yards to go from their own 11-yard line. Wing T to the right. Jude, the quarterback. There's the snap. Pitch back to the left halfback, Dwight Lee, and he's brought down immediately. I don't think he got back to the line of scrimmage. Mike McGill was the first man to hit him, but the entire Notre Dame team was over there to meet him. He lost a yard on the play, so it'll be second down and 11 yards to go for the Spartans from their own 10-yard line. Tecklin comes in replacing Presbicki at right tackle for Michigan State. Out of the huddle come the Spartans with second down and 11. Unbalanced line to the right, straight T in the backfield. There's the snap. Jude hands to Jones, and he's hit right at the line of scrimmage. Page in there. The entire Notre Dame line actually is in on the stop. Page, Arrington, Duranko, Long, the linebackers of Martin, McGill. Harry Alexander is in there at right defensive tackle, so check that instead of Arrington. It'll be third down, still 11 yards to go for Michigan State from their own 10-yard line. And it's Presbicki back in the ball game replacing Tecklin. 7:51 showing on that scoreboard clock as Michigan State takes a timeout. And the clock has stopped on the field with a score here at Notre Dame Stadium. Michigan State 12 and Notre Dame 3.
It's time for you to buy, so be sure the paint you're buying is O'Brien, for you want top quality. Here's something really great. We call it Duraplate.
Yes, sir.
It's the paint that really ain't.
Hold it. Give me that again.
Here's something really great. We call it Duraplate.
Yes, sir.
It's the paint that really ain't.
Ain't paint. Miraplate ain't paint. Miraplate is O'Brien's new epoxy coating. It goes on like paint, but looks, lasts, and protects like ceramic tile. Miraplate your bathroom, basement, garage, floors, walls, toys, tools, and boats. You name it, and you can Miraplate it. I've got it. Don't paint it. Miraplate it.
That's Duraplate. It's really great. A brand you should be buying from O'Brien.
Your O'Brien van in Des Moines is Russ Walker Paint, 415 Euclid. Get the protection of O'Brien's Miraplate from Russ Walker, decorator headquarters at 415 Euclid.
Michigan State out of the huddle with third down, 11 yards to go from their own 10-yard line. Unbalanced line to the right, straight T in the backfield. Jude is the quarterback. There's the snap, the handoff. Goes to the left halfback, Dwight Lee, and he's brought down for a 1-yard loss. Harry Long in there with Jim Lynch and Pete Duranko. Well, the Notre Dame defense was equal to the task that time, as Michigan State will be forced to punt now from their own 10-yard line, which will mean Kenny will probably be standing in his own end zone. Standing at the 50-yard line for Notre Dame is Nick Rassus. Kenny's about 4 yards deep in his own end zone, and we'll see if the rush is on this time. Martin looks like he's going to rush. We'll see. Not too much of a rush. There's the kick. It's a good spiral this time by Kenny. Taken and fumbled by Nick Rassus, but he recovers it. Well, there was a heart stopper for Notre Dame fans as Nick Rassus tried to catch that ball and return it. He was rushed fast by Boris Dimitrov, and he dropped the ball, however he fell on it. So it'll be Notre Dame's ball. First down, 10 yards to go from the Spartan 46-yard line. A 36-yard kick by Kenny. Bill Sheridan splits to the left. I formation. There's the snap. Pitch out this time to Nick Eddy around the left end. He's brought down for a loss. Bob Viney over there along with Don Jappinga for the Spartans.
You know, the Spartans have covered very well on punts. Nick Rassis, who already has 7 new records here at Notre Dame on punt returns and also on kickoff returns and interceptions, has been stopped principally because of the high kicks of Kenny and the fine coverage by the Michigan State line.
Loss of 4 on the play. It's second down, 14 for Notre Dame from the 50-yard line. There's the snap. The handoff goes to Walski, and he is hit immediately, and I mean immediately. The linebackers were coming for Michigan State that time. Lubert, big Harold Lucas in there that time also. The big middle guard for the Spartans, 286 pounds. That loss is back to the 45-yard line. So it'll be third down and 19 yards to go for the Irish from their own 45. Sheridan and Eddy split to the right. There's the snap. Rolling to his right is Locke. He looks like he may run it now. He's back to the line of scrimmage, but that's about all. Harold Lucas over there to make the stop. Well, the Irish unable to move against that big Spartan forward wall. And that'll bring in Dan McGinn, again for Notre Dame. He's standing at his own 33-yard line. Don Jappinga goes back this time for Michigan State to field this punt. There's the snap. There's the kick, and it's a good one. Almost blocked again. Taken by Jappinga at the 20-yard line. He's dropped immediately by Bob Meeker, who really hit him. And you may hear the booing in the background, as many of the fans thought a roughing of the kicker penalty should have been called that time in favor of Notre Dame's kicker, Dan McGinn. A 34-yard kick that time by McGinn. First period, Kansas 7, Missouri 0. Also in the first period, Oklahoma State 7, Kansas State 0. 4:46 remaining in this football game. It's the Spartans' ball, first and 10 from their own 18-yard line. Unbalanced line to the right. The handoff goes to Clinton Jones around left end. Tony Carey's got him. And Horney's over there to help to throw him out of bounds at about the 13. And that will stop the clock. Out of bounds. 6-yard loss on the play by Clinton Jones, who nevertheless has played an outstanding football game this afternoon for Michigan State. We will call it second down, 16 yards to go. The ball at the 13-yard line of Michigan State. Out of the huddle they come. 4:31 remaining in this football game. There's the snap. Dwight Lee with the ball. He's hit immediately by Jim Lynch. Jones in this football game has carried 21 times and gained 109 yards. 5-yard pickup on the play, that time by Dwight Lee. It's third down, 11. The ball resting now at the 13-yard line of Michigan State. Check that. We'll call it the 18-yard line of Michigan State. Oh, it's third and 11. The ball on the 18 of the Spartans. Unbalanced line to the right. Now into the slot goes Jones. Jude, the quarterback. There's the snap. Pitch back this time. Goes to Dwight Lee. He's brought down about the 16-yard line by Jim Lynch and Mike McGill. No gain on the play. Well, that will bring in Dick Kenny again to kick for the Spartans. Third period score. Dartmouth is leading Princeton by the score of 14-7. No, actually, the Spartans have been unable to move the ball here, particularly in the fourth quarter. Notre Dame has likewise been unable to move the football. Kenny back to kick at his own 3-yard line with a 4th and 12. There's the snap. There's the kick. High spiral this time. It's going to bounce at the 50. Takes the Michigan State bounce. 45, 35-yard line now. And down at the 34 of Notre Dame. Bob Viney down there to stop it for the Spartans. Well, there's 3 minutes, 6 seconds showing on that scoreboard clock, and the Spartans have the lead 12-3. A 49-yard kick that time by Dick Kenny. Irish out of the huddle with first down, 10 yards to go at their own 34. There's the snap. Schlock goes back. He's looking, fires a long one, intended for Eddie. Incomplete at the 30-yard line. And a great defensive play by Don Jappiga. He hit Eddie just as he got the ball and knocked it from his grasp. The long bomb that time with 2 minutes now and 46 seconds showing on the scoreboard clock. It's Notre Dame's ball with 2nd and 10 from their own 34-yard line. Eddie and Sheridan move out to the left this time. There's the snap. Schlock rolls to his left. He's running with the ball. He's looking. And he is brought down at the 30-yard line. Bob Biney is over there, along with 51, big Harold Lucas. And big 95, Bubba Smith. And Schlock is down. The clock is stopped on the field with a score here at Notre Dame Stadium. Michigan State 12 and Notre Dame 3.
Effective this current dividend period, your savings will earn at the new planned rate of 4 1/8% a year, a new higher rate of earnings to be paid on December 31st for the last half of 1965. This means more profit for you on your savings at Home Federal, a good reason for you to open or add to your account now. Get the insured safety, generous earnings, and passbook convenience you want for your savings at Home Federal of Des Moines. Look over your savings program now. Start earning dividends at the planned new rate of 4 1/8% a year, payable on the next paying date, December 31st. Save by the 15th, earn from the 1st. Remember, for your savings, there's no place like home. Home Federal, 6th and Grand, Des Moines.
Remember, tomorrow on KSO Radio, professional football with the Green Bay Packers invading the Met to meet the Minnesota Vikings. Airtime on KSO tomorrow afternoon, 1:30 from KSO, Des Moines, Iowa.
Notre Dame's ball, 3rd and 14 from their own 30-yard line. Sheen is in at quarterback now. He stumbles and falls as he tries to hand the ball to Conjar. It's a fumble, and Michigan State has the football. Bob Biney recovering for the Spartans. Michigan State owns the football with 2 minutes, 24 seconds showing on that scoreboard clock. The ball at the Notre Dame 28-yard line. It'll be first down, 10 yards to go, Spartans from that point. Unbalanced line to the right. Steve Jude still in there at quarterback. There's the snap. The handoff goes to Lee. He's brought down immediately by Duranko. Mike McGill was also in there to help out Duranko. You have to hand it to both defensive units here this afternoon. Michigan State and Notre Dame have both played outstanding football games. Spartans out of the huddle with 2nd down, 10 yards to go from the Notre Dame 28-yard line. As Clinton Jones is split far to the left this time. Washington is split to the right. The handoff goes in there to Lee. He bangs forward over left tackle and is brought down shy of the 25-yard line by Martin, Page, and Horney. Ball is spotted now at the 26-yard line, a pickup of 2 on the play. It will be 3rd down, 8 yards to go from the Notre Dame 26-yard line. 1:16 showing on the scoreboard clock, and the Spartans have the lead, 12-3. Unbalanced line to the right. Jude gets the snap, hands off to his fullback Cotton, goes straight ahead, and he's stopped right at the 25. Alexander in there. Notre Dame calls timeout to stop that clock. 58 seconds showing on the scoreboard clock. Third quarter score, Michigan 7, Ohio State 6. Third period, Rutgers 10, Colgate 10. First period, Villanova, let's make it Buffalo 7, Villanova 0. In the third period, Syracuse leads Boston College 14-13. Boy, you just can't say too much about this Michigan State football team, particularly their defense here this afternoon. We don't have the official statistics, but I'll bet at this point that Notre Dame has not gained 40 yards on the ground. Drake Garrett in that ball game now at fullback. Let's see who he replaced. I think he replaced Clinton Jones. at right halfback. It'll be fourth down. Fourth down for Michigan State, 7 yards to go from the Notre Dame 25-yard line. There's the snap. Jude keeps the ball, runs up the center. He is to the 20. He is shy of the first down, and Notre Dame will take over. He is stopped by Mike McGill, and Notre Dame calls timeout. Special thanks to my spotter once again this afternoon, Howie Murdoch, and my statistician, Fran Crum, who is a student here at the University of Notre Dame. And Fran informs me that Notre Dame is +8 in rushing in this football game. So that gives you an idea of the toughness of this Michigan State defense. All right, Notre Dame's ball, first down, 10 yards to go from their own 21-yard line. Shane in the ball game, gets it, runs around left end now. He's up to the 20-yard line, and that's all. Jappinga over there. Don Weatherspoon also in there, along with Jess Phillips and Ron Gubert. Timeout Notre Dame once again. Well, Moose, we didn't win this football game. I understand you won a bridge game from Charles Gorin along with Joe DeFranco over the weekend. Is that right?
Yes, we had a little meeting. I didn't win, actually, but I enjoyed meeting Mr. Gorin. He's the outstanding bridge player in the country.
All right, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification.
It's Green Bay and Minnesota, direct from the Met in Bloomington, Minnesota. Tomorrow, play-by-play with Ray Christensen and Paul Giel on KSO. In Des Moines, Iowa, airtime 1:30.
Back to the action, 19 seconds showing on the scoreboard clock. It's Notre Dame's ball, second down, 11 yards to go from their own 20-yard line. And in case you joined us late, the Spartans have the lead by the score of 12-3. Tom Shane is the Notre Dame quarterback. Split to the left is Phil Sheridan, the captain. Shane elects to run around right end this time, gets it out to about the 21-yard line where he stopped. Don Witherspoon, George Shatloff in there, and they're counting them off. 5 seconds showing on the scoreboard clock as Notre Dame comes out of the huddle. Shane, the quarterback. And that's the end of the ball game. We'll have the wrap-up on today's football game and scores of other games in just a moment. Spartans of Michigan State down the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame here at Notre Dame Stadium. This afternoon, the final score was 12-3. Jim Morris, along with Moose Krause, bringing you all the action. And here to bring you the final wrap-up of this football game is the athletic director of the University of Notre Dame and my broadcast partner, Moose Krause.
Yes, Jimmy, this was a great football game, and certainly Duffy Doherty has made all of us believers in the fine football team he has. Michigan State is number one and also will remain number one after this great ball game against Notre Dame this afternoon. This was definitely a defensive battle as Michigan State defeated the Irish 12-3. The Michigan State defense was absolutely outstanding, holding the Fighting Irish's running attack to +8 yards. On defense were outstanding players like Smith, Owens, Lucas, Weatherspoon. Gobert certainly ranks as an All-American in our book. Then Thornhill, Webster, and the defensive backs of the Michigan State Spartans were able to stop Notre Dame's passing attack practically all afternoon, and they were Summers, Japinga, and Phillips. Here's the way the scoring went. In the first quarter, Notre Dame recovered a fumble on the 19-yard line by Jimmy Lynch and went into score with Ken Ivan's 12th field goal of the season to put the Irish ahead 3-0. The rest of the first half was all defensive play by both teams. Neither team could move the ball too well. However, in the second quarter, Michigan State almost scored as a pass interception in the end zone by McGill stopped the charge of the Spartan team. In the second half, it was all Michigan State as Michigan State started to ground out yardage with Jones leading the principal attack, Jude at quarterback. On a quick kick, the Spartans got the ball on the 39-yard line, and then Jones went into action, gaining 20 yards, another 4, and 3 yards for a score, as the Spartans went into the lead 6-3 with 6 minutes and 50 seconds left to play in the third period. They went 39 yards in 7 plays. The rest of the quarter was nip and tuck with both teams punting and being stopped on offense. Finally, in the fourth quarter, an interception by Summers on the Notre Dame 25-yard line with 11 minutes and 16 seconds left to play gave Judy an opportunity to throw a strike to Lee in the end zone with Foot. The Spartans ahead 12-3 with 10 minutes and 58 seconds left to play in the contest. And that's the way the game ended, with Michigan State winning 12-3. Duffy Doherty in my book should be ranked as the #1 coach in the country, Jimmy, and also the Michigan State team, which has been known as a second-half team all season long, certainly proved they are one of the great football teams of the country and deserve #1.
I certainly agree with you, Bruce. We'll back up the stadium. Just take a look at the final rushing statistics here in this football game. For Notre Dame, Block carried 9 times, lost 11 yards. Eddie carried 7 times, lost 2 yards. Bill Walski carried 4 times, lost 4 yards. Conjar is the only Notre Dame back who was able to gain on the ground. He carried 6 times, gained 29 yards. Sheen carried 3 times and lost 1 yard. Notre Dame was a -9 yards rushing here in the second half, and their total rushing for the day was 11 yards. The Spartans of Michigan State, Jude carried 6 times for 10 yards. Jones carried 21 times for 109 yards. Lee carried 25 times for 81 yards. Apiza carried 2 times for 5 yards. Cotton carried 4 times for 15. And the Spartans picked up a total of 220 yards rushing, as opposed to 11 for Notre Dame. Unofficially in first downs, the Spartans had 14, and Michigan State, check that, the Spartans of Michigan State had 14, and the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame had only 3. In the passing department, Notre Dame completed 2 out of 11, good for 25 yards. Nick Eddy caught 1, Tom Tilaga caught the other. For Michigan State, Jude completed 6 out of 11, good for 73 yards. Washington caught 2 for 29. Jones caught 1 for 14. Dwight Lee caught 1 for 19 yards and a touchdown, and that was after the Jim Summers interception at the Notre Dame 19-yard line. And Cotton caught 1 for 8 yards for Michigan State. Interception department today, Notre Dame picked off 2. Longo got 1, Martin got 1. For Michigan State, their defensive backfield, each one of the deep men picked off 1, Phillips, Japinga, and Summers. In the fumble recovery department, Notre Dame picked off 2, 1 by Horney, 1 by Lynch. And for Michigan State, Bob Viney was able to recover a fumble for the Spartans.
And here are some more scores in the Midwest. Illinois leads Northwestern 7-6 at the first quarter. Iowa ahead of North Carolina State 7-0 first period. Michigan 7, Ohio State 6, third period score. Purdue leads Indiana at halftime 20-14. Kansas over Missouri in the first quarter 7-0. Oklahoma State 7, Kansas State 0 in the first period. In the East, Boston 15, Rhode Island State 3 in the first half. 17-0 at halftime for Brown over Columbia. Colgate and Rutgers 10-10 at the end of the third period. Dartmouth leading Princeton 14-7 at the end of the third quarter. 7-0 in favor of Harvard over Yale at the third period. 14-13, Syracuse leads Boston.